Hey, good morning, folks. AJay the CEO here. I left my shoes upstairs. We are getting ready to head to Victoria, Virginia to start install number 6 for Mount Bethel Baptist Church. We talked to them a while ago, got everything rolling. Got a car loaded full of equipment. This is the install that's going to be just like Bethlehem Baptist Church, almost exactly identical, except for the sound system. Bethlehem did an analog mixer because we were just replacing where everything is. This install, we're physically moving the media booth to a completely different room. So we are going with a digital mixer so that we don't have to run all new cables all the way back. There's going to be a dedicated space for the media area. And what else? We're doing 4 security cameras, 3 PTZ cameras, an 85-inch screen TV that I still need to order because I'm going to actually pick it up because I'm tired of having to play these games with people not delivering stuff on a timely schedule. So I already actually got a U-Haul. Gonna pick up the TV en route tomorrow, I believe, and go from there. So the main thing today is because my car is fully loaded, not able to carry everything with me, my ladders and things like that. The main thing, I was getting ready to say my alarm didn't go off. Make sure I turned it off. Main thing is to deliver everything, get everything out of my house so that I got enough space. And as you can see, we are fully loaded up. And yes, I could have gotten the U-Haul earlier, but the main thing is to get down here in time. The store wouldn't have been open to get the TV. So, and we got thrown off quite a bit by the weather. So that kind of messed my plans up a little bit, but we roll with it. So I think I got everything that I need because this is about an hour and a half drive away. So it's going to be interesting every morning to get everything in place. But we got our camera, we got our backup batteries. I want to make sure I got everything. Yeah, and we're also installing Unify there as well too, so we'll have Wi-Fi and all that other stuff that's going to be done there at the church. I guess I need my batteries for my tools there, so let me throw all the rest of the stuff here, get my batteries, and then we're going to get on the road and get down to Victoria, Virginia to help modernizing of a media ministry. So let's go. Alrighty, folks, we are here. Let's get inside and, well, let's unload all this and get inside, and we're gonna get a lay of the land to see what we need to do and what we can get done today. Alright, folks, I'm a little tired just from bringing everything in, but let me talk you through what the layout is going to be here at Mount Bethel. So we're looking here at the front. That picture is going to go away, and we're going to put an 85-inch screen TV right there, and we're going to put framing around it to make it look like a picture. So it's going to look almost exactly like that, but it's going to be a TV instead. You see they already have the speakers and everything. We're not touching that, but we do have the S16, and we're going to obviously get rid of that camera, put the PTZ right there, probably move the clock up a little bit. But this is the window that they were looking out, and this, in the entrance of the church, this is where their sound system was. This was the only area that they really had for the media to operate in. So instead of trying to re-pull all these cables and all this other stuff, the old soundboard is going to go away. We're going to put the S16 down here with the amps, and we're just going to connect everything to the S16, and then we just have to run the Ethercon cable from here back to the new media booth, and that would give all the functionality. And it's easier to do pull one cable than to pull all of this back up to the front, through the wall, through the floor, through the crawl space, and all that other stuff. So it's no point in moving all of this. We can just put that there. And if anything, I will probably see about replacing the doors and maybe put some vented grates or something in here so that I can breathe. I did also get a Casa smart plug. So I'm gonna put the Casa smart plug back here so that all of this is gonna be able to be turned on remotely, as well with the switch that we put in the back. We're gonna put one camera right there, one on either side, whichever one is the easiest. Probably that side is gonna be the easiest. Then we're also gonna put a front facing one so that it can get the baptismal, as well as looking back here, the sanctuary. And the good thing is that's the only one TV that's going in here. We got a big mount for up to a 92-inch TV. And here's the pastor's office. So we're going to be adding a 32-inch TV on, I don't know which wall. I don't think it's going to be that one because there's no electrical. Maybe here, not exactly sure. But we're going to run a TV in here where there's an outlet right there. So I'll come back to there. This is one of the children's classrooms. I thought it was a TV here. I think it's on the other side. But we do have access into here because we're going to run that cable all the way to the back area, come back here, and drop it into this room. This is one of the other classrooms. So we're going to feed a signal to the TV here that's already existing. And we're going to feed a TV cable to the TV back there for the new camera system. So that's the route that we're going to do. And here is the room that's going to be turned into the media room. So they've cleared out all of this stuff. So most likely we're going to put an L shape here. Probably get one of their 6-foot folding tables here. And if they have a 4, put it on this side. Most likely originally I was going to put the rack here. And I still may. I was thinking about putting it in that corner because then we can just make a hole, a 2-inch, 3-inch hole here, run all the cables down into that. But I think I was going to put it here because we only had to run one hole, and then all of the cables that are going for the HDMI cables to the TVs and stuff would just come down in the same place, and we wouldn't have to do multiple things. That's all going to be dependent on where we find studs for, because that's what this 12U rack mount is going to be, holding all the stuff. We're also going to be unifying this. So we're going to put the network stuff, Wi-Fi is going to be here in the hallway, one in the sanctuary, and we're going to put 4 security cameras on the outside of the building as well too. So first thing I'm going to do is focus on assembling the rack, finding where the studs are, hang that up, then get a chair in here to see a good level, because these 32-inch screens, one's going to be for the multi-view, the other one's going to be the computer monitor. So I'm going to sit down and place these on the wall where they'll be comfortable. Put my shop outlet here so that we have more plug-ins for everything. And I might need to get one more. I think I'll probably have it linked this way so that the cable from the surge protector that's going to go on the rack can be plugged into that as well too. Also have a leftover Casa smart plug, an outlet plug. So I might, if need be, might be able to plug that into something, replace one of these outlets if need be. But that's what we got. So let's go ahead and start assembling this rack here, find the studs, or which side we're going to do, either this side or that side, and then start laying it out, get this hung, put the networking equipment in, put the plug in, and start setting up everything inside of here and kind of dry fit everything. I'll put the snake up, run the cable down the hallway, make sure we get audio, start labeling the stuff, and go from there. Got to do everything that I can do without a ladder since my car was loaded up. And we'll come back, and tomorrow we'll work on the other stuff. So let's get to measuring. took much longer than I thought, but we got the rack up here, and just because how big it is, oh well, I really don't want to move it, because if I move it over here, that'll be kind of in the way of the access. Yeah, I could move it higher, and I might need to, but for right now, we're gonna just keep it right here. I mean, but from a work area standpoint, if this side, let me step back. This side is gonna be meant for putting the TVs there, or worst case scenario, I could just put everything on this side, so that won't be in the way. So one side here will be with the TVs for the computer and monitoring everything, and the sound system, so the L could actually go from here to here. I might actually just do that, so that way, because if I move that, that would have been problematic for me to climb back up in here. And the idea is I can come up in here, make a hole right over there, and feed all the cables through here. And as much as I didn't want to have two holes, we could put the other one in here. Again, I haven't looked up here, so I don't even know what that looks like up there, but the idea is I can run cables here to this way, then run other cables this way, which were mainly going to be for the cameras. And so the Ethernets for the cameras, the HDMIs for the cameras would go here, and then the digital snake could actually come down here. I mean, the Ethercon cable will come here that connects to the digital snake in the board. So yeah, so probably I'll use this side instead. So what we're going to do now is I am going to start putting in all of the networking equipment in here right now. The Unify stuff, get that all there, the shelves and everything, and then we'll start setting up the TVs. So we got the rack there. We're gonna put the keystone plate here. Gonna run a cable that will come out here into port 20, which will loop back and feed the ultra switch. Then all the other connections will run down through the hole here that we're gonna make above here. That'll go to the access point, the security cameras will go here, and then network connections will run from here down to wherever they're going to be. So if we do go up and over, we'll run the cables, 3 cables from here straight up. So one will be for the ATEM, one will be for the computer, the other one will be for the and then the other one will be for the X32. And then we have one more that's going to run, that's going to feed the PoE switch, that's going to power the cameras. The cameras will run in that direction, and that's what that rack is for. So what we're going to do now is relocate a bunch of this stuff, get a couple of tables, and going to start finding studs for the TVs, these 2 TVs that are going to be mounted here. That's the rack that most likely will sit in that corner, so that makes it easy for the cables to come directly into the rack, as well as the HDMI stuff. Once the tables are up, once everything is up, then I'll put a table here. We'll start setting up the computer, start making cables. I'll run it long enough that can reach over here, but then once we get up in here with my ladder, that's when we'll repurpose it and get it over there. So making good progress. Again, like I said, we're trying to do everything that we can on the ground. Once the table is here, I'll also set up the sound system and run the Ethercon cable on the floor so we can get all the way back there, connect it up, make sure we get sound, start labeling everything so it matches over. Once I have the computer up, that will make that easier, and then we'll go from there. was making good progress. We got one TV up. I put the other one up and it was cracked. And so I boxed that one up, and then I took the pastor's one, opened that one up, and that one was cracked too. So just looking at the boxes, it looks like somebody just tossed these things in, not on that side. Both of them were cracked in the exact same location on this side. So I'm putting in a return. Maybe see if I can stop by a store on my way home and see if I can pick up the exact same model, because they take their time to give me a refund back so I can buy a new one. So we're going to do that. We got one in place, and both of them are level, and they'll be side by side once they're up. So plans changed a little bit. So now what I'm going to focus on is at least finishing this monitor up, hooking up the computer to that, bringing in a couple of tables, set up the ATEM, everything up to the computer, set up the other table, and then start setting up the sound system. So that's what I'm going to do, and then run the cable on the floor, and maybe run some cables temporarily. And the good thing is, I can't get into the ceiling, but the other access point, I can actually put right on the other side of this wall. And if I really wanted to, I could just drill a hole through here and just run the cable through here, because that access point here is going to be close enough to pick up, get all of this stuff in here for a Wi-Fi standpoint. Then probably break out the cameras, set up the IP addresses for everything, and that will kind of be a stopping point for me for today. I do have the Casa plug that I have right there that I temporarily put in place that I was making at home. I may, depending if I get up here, I may try and tap off of this and put that up against the wall. So when they hit that switch, that will turn everything on. I may think about doing that. It all depends on how that's wired. But let me clean this space out, and let me get a table over here, and then we can start setting up everything. And most likely, like I said, the computer is probably going to sit here, and it needs to be close enough for the USB 2 cable to connect to the board so that it can run audio. And what I think I might do, I got those speakers left over from Mount Tabor. I'm wondering if I can put the speakers in here so that they can hear what the live stream sounds like. I'd rather not do that, because somebody needs to have headphones on with the ATEM to hear how the ATEM live stream sound is. Also, I didn't get a chance to ask them where the main router is, or the modem coming in for their internet. So I'm gonna have to figure that out and run a cable over here, and then get the internet set up to the UDM Pro. But that's what we're thinking to do. Obviously I see Pastor's computer here, so I'm not trying to investigate and go through the whole church, but I'm just gonna, if the door's open, they left that open for me to do work in. So if I see the router there, I might just run a cable on the floor and get all this thing set up. But like I said, we're gonna set the computer up, get that up and running, connect it to the UDM Pro, and then try and do some networking stuff, and then set up the sound. All right, so for the most part, we got stuff set up. I'm wondering if that's going to be a problem, because I wouldn't want somebody to be that close. I would hope somebody wouldn't stand up and rock their head up against that. But the good thing is I can slide this over some, and then worst case, I could actually slide this whole table over, so we could be away from that if need be. So we got plenty of space. What I'm going to do now is we got the system on, and what I want to do is run the cable for the S16, hook everything up, and make sure we get some sound with their existing setup, and then start labeling everything. I'm going to start making some cables, hook up the access point. Well, actually, I don't even really need to run a cable for that. I can use some of these short Cat 6 cables that I have that are going to live in the rack. I can hook that up right now so that we can get some type of connection. And I will run, like I said, we're going to run a cable for the ATEM, the computer. We got to run one for the rack down there, the PoE switch. That's 3. And then we'll run another one here for the X32. So that's 4 connections down here. So we'll run that off of the top ones, and then all of the devices that need PoE, the security cameras, access points, will go on the Ultra right there. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so we got the EtherCon cable ran, and I am glad I have another 200-foot shielded cable, because I think I might need that to cover this distance. Again, might not, but I'll probably grab that anyway. And so what we're going to do is hook this up, disconnect all of the connections that are existing in the old board, pull that out, hook this up, and then look, there's the cast plug that's going to turn everything on remotely from in the back. And when I put the access point in here, you have a good internet connection. So we're going to take all these out, hook it up to here, and then we go from there. All right, so we've made a lot of good progress. I got sound up, got the cables ran, got almost everything ran here. All of the ATEM, the joystick, the computer, all of that is here. I actually moved their stuff here. That is a Verizon 5G internet, and internet is about 5 megabits up and 5 megabits down, 1 megabit up. So obviously not fast enough to sustain any type of live stream, but we do have internet access. So the other thing I noticed, and I ordered some stuff, we're gonna have to make some changes here to help out. So I don't know what was done here. I'm just hearing a hum. It sounded like the theme to Interstellar. But a lot of the cables, they put gender swappers here because those were for mic jacks, but they turned them into speaker ones. So I needed, and they connected them into a whole bunch of adapters to convert it from the wrong type of XLR, well, gender swap to XLR, then put it on an adapter, then convert it to 1.4, a 1/4 inch cable, and then connect it into the board. So none of that stuff worked. So this is kind of like the stuff that they had hooked up. So I put it in place just to make sure sound was what. I ordered gender swappers for that, but most likely I think I have some plates so that I can actually just change the socket completely up there, so I can get rid of those gender swappers there. And then this, I have male to male and female to female cables, so it won't be an adapter, it'll be a physical cable that's connected. The other thing I noticed is the amp. I had everything running through the amp, and I had sound going through it, but it's like this amp is only for the ceiling speakers. So, like, I don't know if there was one in the ladies' restroom, but I know out in the hallway and stuff like that, that's what that amp was going to. So I thought that that amp was actually for the white speakers there. I'm not getting anything off of those unless that's the other cable that I need those adapters for to gender swap. So honestly, the floor speakers that are here, those are going to produce more than what those speakers are going to be. So originally they were on something else, like they were on an aux mix, and the house was going into the ceiling speaker. So I'm switching those around unless they tell me otherwise. I'm making those the house speakers, and I have a dual female to male XLR adapter, because everything was just being ran to the left channel. So I'm going to send left and right to this, so that will be the sound here. They also have similar speakers inside the choir stand, which that's the jack that I showed you. I'm going to switch that around. So we have the main house here. We have another mix that's going to be the choir, stand. Another mix, the third mix, is going to be the ceiling speakers throughout the church. And then we're also going to have the live stream mix. So because there are ceiling speakers here, thankfully, everything should be in sync, especially for anyone else who's running, watching television when you have the signal coming here. So, see, Pastor doesn't have any speakers in his office, so the TV that we put in here, that will be fine. But like I said, the other speakers that are there in the ceiling right there and all that stuff, it doesn't look like there's one here. But the TV hopefully should be in sync. If not, we're going to have to put a slight delay on that with the TV. So they got a speaker here in the kitchen. In here, this will provide most of the sound inside of here because it's 4 speakers in here. And when we run the TV, hopefully all of that will be good to go. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to run one of the fiber optic HDMI cables back here, and I'm going to hook up one of the PTZ cameras and the ATEM just to feed it back here. And then technically I am done. I got to take those 2 TVs back and ship them off to UPS so they can return them. And then on the way, I'll buy 2 more locally and bring them back and be able to hang that here. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have my hands full with everything that's going on. Everything else I got to go. So let me stop my music here because I can't play that music. Let me bring up my YouTube and we'll just play some intro music there, which I know I have a rights to use. So we'll do that and then let you hear what I'm talking about from a sound standpoint. Again, not nothing major. We just want to have all this stuff configured so that when everything is good to go, it's good to go. All right, so let me unmute this. So the sound is on right now. I need to turn on no, we got sound. So once I skip forward to where music is being played, there it goes. So we got sound. So let me show you. This is not in the ceiling, so I'm gonna turn that on here in a second. This is just the house, the floor speakers right now. And it's coming into this one, and then it's daisy chained from here into this speaker. Personally, I'd rather have this be connected, and then I wouldn't have to do that left and right, but not a big deal. So we got that there. So now let me turn on the ceiling speakers so you get an idea what we're talking about. So I have this. We're going to put this on the casa separately as well too. That powers up all of this. Probably put another surge in here so that the mics are separate from the amp. So we got another one. All right. So I'm still not getting anything from those, but let me take you everywhere else to see how they sound. And I don't know if I muted it or not. Yeah, I got it muted back here. Let me unmute this. Actually, I didn't unmute it. I think I disconnected it because the sound was messed up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the house down. And then the mixes are the only thing that are up right now. So once I get those, the wires there, plus one of the adapters is kind of flaking out. The other thing they were saying is they wanted to know, the pastor's wife was wondering if this would also fix the mics going in and out. So I wasn't told about that, but just from the way they described it, it sounds like it's interference. So we'll see how that goes. So right now, this is the cable that I have coming out but it's not connected to anything. So what's going into the amps, well, actually, I just don't have this cable plugged into the amp. Let me do that. Because I have those on 3 and 4, which is the new mix I need to make. So you hear that? That's that cable, this adapter. That's a problem, but we'll get rid of that. Now, which one is this? This is 4. There you go. See, still not getting nothing from those speakers. What you're hearing is down the hallway on the ceiling speakers. See, real good sound. So, oh, and the kitchen. So that is that mix that we will set. That's what I call ceiling. That's going to be choir. That the other one, which I believe that's that cable that's in the ceiling. I mean, the other cable that I don't have a gender swapper for. But I have those coming in overnight. So we should be good with that. So very, 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 very good progress. I'm going to disconnect this internet and run this cable around so that no one's going to mess with this. I was concerned about closing this. I'm going to be right back in the morning, and they gave me a key so I can come back in and get what's done. I'm going to put the side door on there. And then tomorrow is going to be focusing on hanging the cameras, starting that path to find the path to run the cables in the ceiling. I need to remember to bring that 200-foot shielded cable that I have left over just in case. Because again, I don't have to go around these corners and stuff like this. So I may be able to go straight, but I just rather bring the cable just to make sure we don't have any issues. So yeah, I'm hearing a whole bunch of feedback. That's from that cable being loose. But anyway, once I do that, I'll get them on their tablet, set them up on the CASA stuff, set it up on the schedule, also put it to that switch. I got the stuff to do it. I just need to see how that cable is ran, and I might put that CASA wall switch in the wall so that I don't have that, the Jimmy rigged version of how I got it. But making very, very, very good progress. Had to get some extra stuff like we normally do to get all this other stuff straight. So everything is turned off. When we're done, this whole thing is going to live inside of here. And I do have another smaller rack that I can put everything on there. Well, I mean, the amp in that is the only thing that's going to be on a rack, so I might not even need that. We'll set that on here. And the disc player honestly doesn't even need to go here. If it did anything, this needs to be relocated in the new media room so they can play from right there. So I'll probably move that. So the only thing that's really going to live there are the mics. I'll probably reposition the mics up here so the antennas are closer, but mentally being prepared, might have to get them some new wireless mics, which I think would honestly be better. And once I get the all the Wi-Fi up, I'll bring my tablet, and then I can go and accurately set up all the mics. And honestly, I should put all of these on switches, so when they hit the switch, it'll turn all the speakers on and off. That would make it a lot easier for them, so no one has to run out here and turn this stuff on and off and all that funky stuff. So if I can get, all those adapters are going to be here for in the morning, so they'll be here before I leave. So if I can get some some of the smart caster plugs that I just plug into the outlets. And if they can come in the morning too, I'll probably do that to make this a lot easier. We got 4 of them. We have them for 4 speakers. So that way don't have to worry about somebody reaching over and turning all those on. I'll just put them in between the surge protector, leave the surge protector on, and I'll be able to turn them on. So we got 2 mics to configure, 2 hanging mics, the pulpit, so that's 5. I already got the keyboard, the piano in the system. There was another mic down there, and they had the piano hooked up. I disconnected it so I can go through a direct box. And I need to see how to turn the keyboard speakers off. So since they're coming through the house, then we're gonna take this down. I'm gonna actually have them take that down, so I'm not gonna mess with that. But then we'll put the TV up, and the TV will take up relatively the same amount of space. Hopefully somebody isn't gonna slam their head back and hit the TV. But they got the chair rest here, so that shouldn't be an issue. Like I said, productive day. Trying to turn these lights off. But anyway, let's get on the road, pack up everything, and then we'll be back tomorrow, and we'll focus on the 3 cameras. Depending on how the weather is, get outside, start hanging the access. I do need to hang the access points, but then also need to hang, start hanging the security cameras outside. Just trying to make sure I don't forget anything. But yeah, all right, folks, we will see y'all tomorrow.